biggest news humanly possible. And that, of course, is the debut of Komomo Minami in Marigold. So the Korakuen Hall show, of course, 985 in attendance on a Tuesday. Pretty good. I didn't really know what to expect. The card wasn't like their strongest effort. You and me had talked about, like, you were saying, well, if I lived there, would I go? Like, it's it's a nice
It's my
card, but like,
litmus test.
right? Do I want to go after like a long day of work or something? Well, 985 people did, and that's great to see. That is great to see because weekdays are hard. Obviously, those are usually the Corkins that are lesser, unless it's like a big New Japan show, like a tournament show or something. So great to see from them right off the rip. And we have more and more debuts in the Marigold ring. If you checked out my video earlier this week over on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel, you know what we're going to be talking about heavily in a little bit. But we will go as best we can, match by match here, but it'll be a little less emphasis, unfortunately. But let's talk about it.
Maybe for you. I got stuff to say.
That's true. Well, no. To be fair, the match that we're going to talk about later, that's going to have a lot of. I did 20 minutes. I have 20 more if I need to. So let's talk about the opening match, which saw the debut of Komomo Minami over a year in the making. Originally set to schedule at Stardom's New Blood Premium against Hazuki. Obviously, that did not happen. She got injured, and she kind of just, disappeared. Everyone wondered, where is she? Right? Where is this rookie? And she is now here. She's debuted in Marigold, has some pretty nice looking gear, the black and gold. I like it. It's kind of the complete opposite of Yuzuki, which I liked. I found that to be interesting. They are teaming this weekend, though they are in big trouble. But they are teaming this weekend nonetheless. And then you have Mirai, who is, and I say this every week on the show now, a superstar. Trent, I know you're a big fan of Mirai, just like myself. It's been a good time this past month and a half being a Mirai fan. And I thought she did a good job with rookie Minami, who, there's a lot to work through with Minami. She's a rookie. Not everyone is Victoria Yuzuki, as I like to remind people. But I thought she had a good debut. She had some interesting ideas, like that DDT she hit. I think that was the big one. That one set, once she does it more and more in matches, it's going to get really good. She can work on like the aggression, obviously. Like that will be part of her learning. But I think she is going to be quite good. And Mirai handled her very well. Mirai was just really good in this match. Like, she was controlled. She was having fun in there. There were two matches, and I like to say that the opponent was playing with their food a little bit. And Mirai was kind of doing that with Komomo, which was very entertaining.
And I think that's part of the course with a rookie debut match, is that the veteran coming in should be having fun, just kind of beating up on the rookie. But yeah, it's a fun debut for Komomo Minami. It's always interesting to see what the debutante is good at and what they kind of need to work on, because not every rookie is going to come in as a finished piece straight off the start. There's always going to be things they need to work on, but they come in with sort of different strengths and weaknesses. And yeah, with Komomo, there's some stuff that she's really good at off the bat. Like, there's some moves that are really crisp, and there's definitely some things she's confident with. The main thing is kind of just stringing together momentum. You can tell, like, she's worked on certain spots and working on certain moves and aspects. And it's just, now that she's in the ring and in a match setting, it's just a matter of going from spot to spot to spot with fluidity. And look, that is difficult to do in a match setting when you're in front of nearly 1,000 people, a lot of pressure on you. And like, she's been waiting for this moment for over a year. There's a lot of pressure there. I can understand, like, there's a certain nervousness to that. So give it a few weeks, give it a couple of months. It'll be interesting to see where that sort of progression comes from. But yeah, there's a lot to like. Already with the unique DDT, that's always exciting to see. They're showing an element of creativity. I feel like between the Stardom and Marigold rookies now, there's almost like that expectation of, you have to come in with something unique off the bat.
Yeah.
You can't just be a stock standard rookie who just does stuff well. You have to have something off the bat where it's like, ooh, that's a signature move already. So kind of exciting to know that's the expectation moving forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone else now, like, because we know there's other Marigold sort of trainees coming through. That's the expectation now. You've got to have something new and unique in your repertoire from day one.
Yeah, I think there's something great also about when rookies debut. It's one of my favorite things in wrestling. You like to watch the wrestlers grow. We've kind of been blessed if you haven't watched a lot of actress growth. Even if you have, I think you're watching like those six learn a lot
Mm,
through these house shows, especially. Now that's what we add another piece to the puzzle here with Kamala Minami. This is when she's really going to develop because the pressure will be off. She'll be in more tag matches and things like that.
mm,
I always like to do the comparison to, especially in the last few years, of like Miyu Amasaki. Miyu Amasaki, you know, big spot, obviously, in her debut, big time main event against Utami Hayashishita of all people. And it wasn't until she got to do that tag work consistently where you really saw improvement. That's what I'm
mm,
hoping for Komomo. I'd like to see her team maybe with Mirai down the line, kind of work of that teacher student thing that Mirai's
mm.
already talked about in interviews. But for a debut, two thumbs up. Like, good job. It's not going to be this blowaway match. Like I said, not everyone's Victoria Yuzuki. Not everyone can have like this. This is, it's not that easy for everyone, but it's clear she has skills. And like you said, if you're already putting like a move that's going to be like her signature out there, there's something to be excited about, something to watch for as she grows more and more. So
There's
that's
a
always
reason why
to be.
Yuzuki's debut was so much of an eye opener because it was such a case of she came in with Momo Watanabe and from the bat looked exceptional. Yeah,
Mhm.
even above like pretty much every rookie we'd had in Stardom and anywhere else really for a long time. Basically, since Utami, it felt like this is the first rookie we've had in years that really stood up and made you go immediately, this is someone special.
Yeah.
So it's unfair to compare any rookies coming into a Yuzuki. There's a reason why, like, it was such a coup to get her into Marigold from the get go at just 19. You look at the other Stardom rookies. That's sort of where you're comparing Komomo Minami too, and like, yeah, you can see like your Rana Yagami's, your Sayaka Kararas, like. It's sort of at that same level. There's good things, there's sort of things to work on, and where they've come through already in just 6 months really. Like that's sort of where you
Yeah.
can maybe expect Minami to be progressing, and that's exciting because they've already made massive strides just in their short amount of time working.
Yeah, the next match was now Ishikawa versus Nagisa Nozaki, continuing the story for Ishikawa, just not being able to buy a win. She's becoming a fan favorite more and more just
Mhm.
by, the struggles. The OG7 have all succeeded while she just can't figure it out. And, facing a veteran like Nozaki is not easy. And this was another case of Nozaki just kind of taking care of business. Ishikawa showed a few signs. I'm really going to look forward to that moment where she does get that big win because the crowd
Mhm.
reaction is going to be incredible. So you know, I think we've talked, or at least I've talked ad nauseum on the show about like stories when it comes to stardom the past few months, and I just need them. It's little stories like this that you really appreciate in wrestling,
Mhm.
where it's like, okay, it's just a match, but if you've been following along, this is the story of Ishikawa just trying to figure things out. So it'll be fun. She heads into this weekend with a passion injection match. So that'll always be a nice step up for her. Obviously, that was supposed to already happen. So this is a little, she gets to have that match, and I'm sure it will only benefit her even more as we move forward.
Ishikawa's been not a revelation, but her work in Marigold compared to her work pre-Marigold in terms of like how she was in prominence, how she was in stardom, and the work she'd been doing outside of there. I think she's made incredible strides.
Mhm.
I've seen her sort of before then, and like she was always fine, but I'm not sure like what she's been doing just before this Marigold debut. But she's been working really hard, and
Yeah.
it shows in the work she's doing in this ring. And the crowd's fully bought into her. Obviously, she's donned the full Marigold get up in her costume. Yeah, the crowd loves her. It's going to work, pay dividends. I can't wait to see that moment because she's going to deserve it.
She
Full
is.
credit to her because I didn't
She
think she had this in her, and she's already proven me wrong.
Yeah, she has talent, she has likability. That's gonna bring you a long way. Like
Mm,
that's
mm.
and it'll be fun. They talked about on commentary how Julia's kind of taking Ishikawa under her ring behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see that play out. Obviously, when Julia is able to come back into action, of course, which is sooner than later. If we're guessing that all is good for Summer Destiny, but let's talk
She's
about
already out of the cast, which is
that's true.
exciting.
That's true. Let's talk about one of the big news pieces from this show. That was the official debut of Rhea Maramori, formerly of Sendai Girls. She had announced she was Sendai Girls had announced she was leaving, I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Mm,
Originally, a lot of people thought maybe it was a retirement, but she said no, I am not. She never when she tweeted her own words, she never said anything about retiring. She even said to fellow rookie Yuna, I hope to face you in the ring again someday. That brings a lot of people to, oh, I wonder where she's going. It was noted on commentary as well that it was Mako Satomura that made the call to Rossi Ogawa saying, we have someone that wants to join Marigold. They gave her a shot, and here she is. Rossi Ogawa introduced her, which,
mhm,
that's pretty good for her. 23 years old, debuted back in August, so very new to wrestling. She's been out of
mm,
action since January. So there was a lot of mystery as to what she had been doing. You could see her fear initially, like she was very nervous, very quiet almost. But my favorite part of all this was then she hands the mic over and then hits her pose. I was like, all right, she's back. It was like, oh, it's like all that scare, all that fear gone as soon as she got to hit her
mm,
pose and just move forward, which was nice. And it's another addition to this roster. We don't know when she's going to debut. I'm sure she's going to kind of retrain with the Marigold side first before her official company debut. But another addition, another young addition. They're not,
mm,
it's not a lot of older wrestlers joining because this roster originally was an older roster. The actress girls weren't all too young. Besides Misa Matsui, who of course is 24. Then you had the few that have come over elsewhere. So it's good to see continued addition of young roster members who are going to learn, and I'm excited to see what she can do.
Yeah, obviously, like with just less than a year's experience and not too much active time in the ring, there's a lot of potential to really expand. She's still got a lot to learn. Senjo's a great learning background experience, and now coming in with the Marigold learning tree, there's a lot to really grow from there. JoJo is a great background. I think there's a lot of wrestlers who love
Yeah.
JoJo. It's a great it's going to encourage someone to be very boisterous and outgoing with their personality, which is a great thing to use in professional wrestling. And especially if she's a little bit more shy and introverted, that's always going to be great to sort of get you out of your shell.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll see what comes from that. The more youngsters looking to really expand and grow, the better. Marigold, obviously, yeah, starting to really bolster their roster, and that was always going to be the question mark. Is as they're looking to run as many shows as they are, what are they going to do with their sort of roster availability? This is the kind of thing you need. They've got a few people now in the dojo training and growing, and that's exactly what you need, especially with yeah. The risk of injuries, which, as we saw right off the bat, a couple people get injured. It's going to happen. This is
Mhm.
exactly what you need.
Next up, we had, I thought, a quality tag match. It was Mai Sakurai Misa Matsui versus Natsumi Shizuki and Chiaki, with a nice little surprise. It was Misa Matsui that got the win over Natsumi
Mm,
Shizuki. I love Misa Matsui. I say it on the show all the time. She has been the one that stood out to me the most. I think they've all stood out in their own way. I think obviously the top three have been the ones you'd expect: Misa, Natsumi, and of course Miku, who we'll talk about later. Uh, but this was nice to see Misa Matsui get a win. She's someone who I've compared to like the underdog like type of, say, a Natsupoi that's going to get over very naturally.
mm,
Again, on commentary, they noted she sells a lot of merchandise. So whatever that means, whether it just be buying her t-shirt with the number on it, that's great to hear. That's great to hear, especially as a fan of hers. I thought her and Shozuki were really great in this match. I think
mm,
also I want to give credit to Mai Sakurai. She has shown lots of improvement, obviously, over the past year. she feels like she's taken another level up since joining Marigold as well. She has a certain confidence about her. She's still in like a role where she's not winning a lot or anything. She'll win. She's on the stronger side of things. She'll team with Mirai
Mm.
or Julia or something. But I've just noticed she seems confident. Obviously, she keeps up her character work, which has always got her over. But I do want to give credit as well to Chiaki and Shizuki. I thought they were a good duo here as well. Matsui gets the win, which leads us to the main news of all this, which was after the match, they brought up the Superfly Championship, which was revealed on Thursday on Tokyo Sports. If you're watching the video, because we do put the Marigold reviews up, you see the title here. The Superfly Championship, as Rossi Ogawa explained in the Tokyo Sports article, it's something like the high speed belt. Obviously, it has the I believe the weight restriction. It's 50. Is it 55?
55 kilos or under.
Yeah, so 55 kilos or under. And the
What's
main
that
point,
for your freedom units? Do you know?
not a clue. Don't make me do math live on air. We're not doing that. But the main point of this was that Misa said she wants the belt. And Natsumi Suzuki said they want the belt. They said we want to face each other one-on-one.
Mm.
Kind of giving us a little hint of where we're going with a potential tournament that was made for this upcoming weekend. We will talk about that. How did you enjoy the match? I thought this for me was probably the third best match on the show after the final two.
Mm-mm. Yeah, this was a fun little match. It did what it needed to do, which was
Yeah.
highlight what is potentially coming forward, with the big pay-per-view coming up. Did what it needed to do. I was surprised that Mitsu Matsui got the
Mm-hmm.
win, and then obviously when they set up what they set up, it made a lot of
Yeah.
sense. It sort of as I was shocked, and then like 2 minutes later, I'm like, okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
get why we're here. It's good that they're sort of setting up these secondary titles because obviously, the big two titles we're aware of. It's good now that we're not
Yeah.
forgetting about because we didn't know what was the deal. We knew we were getting essentially the flyweight title and the tag titles. We didn't know if we were getting them now or whether they were
Right.
coming in maybe October, November, end of the
Yeah.
year, mid-year. We didn't know what was going on, but now we know at least this title we're getting
Yeah.
probably in the big pay-per-view event, so we can get excited for it, which is always good. We're getting 3 titles at least very soon. Misa Matsui, I think, is probably the person I would like to see hold that championship. Yeah, she of the actress girls, Miku Ayano has probably been my favorite, but she's the one that's kind of made me stand up and go, "Oh, hello,"
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
reason most quote unquote high speed wrestlers
Yeah.
do. She just is flying around all over the place and very easy to get behind. I see why she's selling merchandise for
Yeah.
Marigold. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. She's a very easy person to get behind, and I think I remember seeing like Rossi post like a photo of like after the show, like a massive line for her
Yeah.
signing stuff. And it's just like, and this is like a regular occurrence for them. So they're capitalizing on this. And that's the easiest way for them to tell like who's making the fans sit up and pay attention is like,
Mhm.
who are they willing to spend money on? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a simple strategy, but it does work. And clearly, Misa Matsui is making people stand up, pay attention, and spend money. That's good business for them.
Yeah, for me, like with the 6, it was always okay. Well, we know Miku's going to be a big star, obviously,
Mm.
and I think
Yeah.
anyone that had an idea of actress girls knew who Miku was, truthfully,
Mm.
and you see why. But I had only seen one match of Misa's before all this, and it was great. I was like, okay, there's something here. Ever since she stepped into this, she had that awesome passion injection match with Nanai. This was it 2 weekends ago. And that was like, oh, okay, the light has switched on. She's very confident. She
Mm.
she does feel, and I don't mean to compare, but the best comparisons sometimes are current wrestlers. She is very Natsupoi like rather than like an Azumi or Starlight Kid. That's
Mm.
her speed is like she has good speed. Obviously, she's a speed star. She has to have speed. But I just think like she's very likable. And that's a
Mm.
great trait to have, and it's going to work out for her in the long run. So we will talk about that tournament in a little bit because we do have a big weekend coming up in Marigold. It feels like there's a big weekend for Marigold every single week at this point, which is great. I am not complaining.
What you got to do as a new promotion, you want to be keeping the conversation about you, and they're doing a great job of that. It feels like every week there's a reason to have Marigold on the mind. You know, like
Yeah.
obviously the big news that's come from this show, like it'd be very easy to let that carry the conversation,
Mhm.
but they're not relying on that to carry the conversation. Like
Yeah.
we thought that was going to be the main thing to talk about, and we've got a championship belt design that we can talk about. We've got multiple tournaments that we can talk about. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. One of my I saw some I forget who it was, but someone tweeted something about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar stuff. Tuesday felt a lot like that. We'll get to why
Mm,
in a little bit,
yes.
but just wanted to bring that up. Next match we had was Miku, Iono, Koki Amare, and Chika Goto defeating Bozilla, Zeta Steel, and Miley Grace. This was a rough one. This was a rough match. So the match was really good when it was Miku, Bozilla, because for some reason Miku has decided, oh, I'm not scared of you. I'm gonna run into you. Like they did the lariat spot, and I was like, I did not expect Miku to do that with her. That was great.
Mm,
That was great to see. I was like, okay, another match I want to see. Miku has a lot of those. Bozilla does too, obviously. But I was like, this is interesting to me. When Koki Amare and Miley Grace were in there together, we fell off the tracks a bit,
mm.
which was
Also,
unfortunate,
shout out
obviously.
to Chika Goto interacting with Bozilla. I thought that was a lot
Yes,
of fun. Yeah,
yes,
she really turned on the fun factor with Bozilla, and that's a match like obviously she will die in the ring,
yeah.
but it will be a fun death. You
Yes,
know,
it'll be very entertaining. I was like,
yeah.
all right, book that for like the upcoming house show or something. Like it just makes
Mm,
sense.
mm, mm.
Um, Goto's very good personality wise. Like
Sure,
from the
sure.
matches I've seen so far, she nails the personality. I know she's still very new to wrestling, but the more again, it's the more she's around. I know Koki wasn't here last weekend, and you could feel that for her. I think.
Mm.
Um, I also want to say Brazil and Zeta Steel are very funny together because Zeta
Yeah,
Steel
they have
so
a good chemistry.
Zeta's so over the top, like over the top heel that set talks
Mm.
a lot, but Bozilla just rolls her eyes the entire time. And this match was all about her rolling eyes. She's like, "Oh my god, we're gonna lose again," which they did. They
Yeah.
did, and it was great because she was like, "All right, I'm gonna kill." Someone I saw someone tweet like, "Are they killing Zeta Steel off because she took the power bomb from Bozilla?" I was like, "No, I don't think that's it. I just think she lost, and this is what she gets."
Yeah.
Um, but
The
this was
way
all
to nerf Godzilla is to give her white women.
that is one way to put it. But this was all to lead to us getting the United National title situation figured out.
Mm, mm.
It was first Miku saying, "I want the belt," and for a while, no one else seemed to want the belt. She just kind of stood there. She's like, "Anyone? Anyone?" Then Mariah came out, hit the smile, was like, "Oh, a white belt on the line? Sounds like my cup of tea." She didn't actually say that, but I like the idea that
I was traumatized by my last white belt times. I have a better hope this time.
yeah, let's run again. And then they both stare at Bozilla, and Bozilla's just like, and for me, just remembering the first Cork, and I'm like, oh, Bozilla so badly wants the red one. You can just feel it, but she's like, all right, fine. If you two want it, I want it. And that, of course, leads us to another tournament this weekend, which we'll
Mm,
get into. But I do like setting that up. Obviously, the finals of that will happen at Ryogoku. That has been confirmed. So another big match scheduled for Summer Destiny.
yes.
I'm just excited. And we have an absolute banger coming this weekend because of it. So
Mm,
grateful for that. Let's get to the semi-main event. Remember when I said there was two matches where it looked like some you had a hunter just playing with his food. Sari was doing that with Victoria Yuzuki, and it was glorious. It was a glorious version of that. Victoria Yuzuki's great at being an underdog. And Sari's even better at enjoying beating someone up. I messaged you in the middle of this. I was like, it's kind of rude that she just enjoys this so much. She slapped Yuzuki across the face and had the biggest smile on her face because of it. I was like, man, it's hard to beat Sari this year, obviously, in terms of just overall quality. And for a very much one-sided match, I had a very good time with this. It's also great to see Yuzuki in a semi-main event. That tells you they're not scared to put her in those big spots right off the rip, which is only going to get her better. She looked good in defeat here. I thought she looked better in this match than the Nanai match. The Nanai match probably had some fears, right? It's like, oh, I'm back. This re-debut type thing. Now she feels really integrated. She knows who she is. She got her ass kicked, but she knows who she is, and she lost to Sari.
There was also a lot of pressure in that Nanai match because it was literally the first match for the company. Like that, it's a completely different battlefield.
Yeah.
Whereas this time around, it's just not just another match, but like Marigold is flying along now. You know what to expect. It's not literally kicking this company off to start things going. And Sari had way too much fun here. Like you do wonder, is she just a little bit evil? She. You sort of have to wonder just the way she's grinning throughout this match. And that moment where she slaps Yuzuki and like she got too much enjoyment out of that. Like I do actually wonder, like if she trains wrestlers, are they doing the Gayism 2000 era stuff? Like I think we need to investigate. But
no, I think it's
match. Great. Fantastic match. Yuzuki got a lot out of this. Like, obviously, she got her ass kicked, but she got a lot out of this. She looked good in defeat, and she kicked out of some heavy stuff from Sari, and
I was
it was all about making her look resilient. And by the end of it, like Sari was doing you kicked out of that. Okay, I'll step it up a bit, and it took the big exploder suplex, which she didn't just go softly into the night. It took a big effort from Sari to actually put her down. So
it took
a strong effort from Yuzuki. She looks good, but she got her ass handed to her, and she's probably waking up this morning going, "What did I go through?"
Yeah, it's the Sari experience, like you're gonna get beat up. You're gonna get beat up a little more. You can get beat up a little more, then you're gonna lose. That's pretty much the experience. It's
got a message from Julia. Got a message from Maya going, "I know how you're feeling."
Yeah. It's only the matches where she's facing someone that's gonna fight back when she slaps her with a smile, right? Like we saw with the Mayu match. When Mayu got slapped, Mayu got angry. It's like if you don't turn around from that slap, you're gonna be in trouble. And Yuzuki is like, all right, I'm in survival mode now. It's like the fighter that's like just punching the air. It's like, I'm gonna do this. Nah, she didn't do it. But this was very enjoyable. And after the match, Sari did call Julia into the ring. They had a good face off. Sari was mocking Julia for not wrestling. She's like, what are you doing over there? Huh? Why are you not wrestling? Which is very funny. They haven't announced any world title match yet, but based off process of elimination so far, it's probably going to be this one. It's like
maybe it's for the NXT Women's Championship.
I'm going to say no. Probably not.
Saray is coming home.
Yeah, let's not do that joke. No. Listen, no. Listen, they can have Julia. They cannot have Sari. She's ours again. Thanks, but no thanks.
Saray's not going home. Saray's coming home.
All right. Let's get to the main event. Main event was Utami Hayashishita versus Nanai Takahashi in a passion injection special match, specifically titled that way. This match was fantastic. This was everything it was supposed to be leading to the post match, if that makes sense. Like this was Utami showing she can go against, someone who has done these passion injection matches, never lost, has gotten the best out of her opponents. And these two beat the piss out of each other. Like plain and simple. These two destroyed each other. I'm watching this match. I'm like, all right, I think Utami has reached her final stage of like growing. Like you and me talk about this all the time. We do. Like Utami has been growing as a professional wrestler every year of her career. We saw it last year, right? We called I literally said after the cage match, she might be the best in the world. And then, not much happened with her. She got hurt. Tells all the time. She went to America, actually. Sorry. She went to America, then came back for the
You can't be the
5-star.
best in the world till you go to GCW. You know this.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. She hit that weird finisher in her first match. Never did the move again. It was a weird little run after that cage match. Ever since she's walked back into Marigold, you know who the top dog is. You know who the top star is in this company. It's Sari, but then it's Utami Hayashishita. Listen. Sari said so. Okay, I do interviews with her. I gotta appreciate what Sari is. But in
You
all
know where your
seriousness,
bread is buttered.
oh, absolutely. But in all seriousness, Utami's phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. And this, people, the last Korakuen were like, oh, I wish Utami was featured more. She couldn't have been featured more than she was on this show. She beat Nanae Takahashi clean in the middle of the ring. That was great. Her and Nanae exchanged a good moment after, very emotional. I just thought this match was great. It was 2 for 2 in Korakuen Hall, big time main events for Marigold.
Yeah, this was a fantastic match, hard hitting. I thought Utami got the best out of 2023, 2024 Nanae, and I thought Nanae did a great job in matching what is a bona fide main event level talent. Because obviously, like a lot of her passion injection matches are her dominating a mid card to lower mid card talent. This is asking a completely different ask test of her, and I thought she delivered here. One or two little missteps. Obviously, they went for the BT bomb, kind of slipped under there, but they recovered well from that and adapted well to it.
Yeah.
My only complaint, and I did mention this to you, is I didn't like Nanae trying to kick out of the hijack bomb at the end. I think that should be a knockout. You're out rather than her flailing around. And like, I get it, Utami's strong. She's holding you down for the pin. Just sell it. You beat. Don't try and be kicking out of it. You're not Hulk Hogan, brother. But she was down. She sold the slap afterwards. She got beat, but it's just a small nitpick. It was still a fantastic match, and really did a good job of for a show which didn't necessarily have a blow away must watch match on paper. This did a great job of closing out the show with a match that I would say, go out of your way to watch this. It's a really solid match, really delivered on all ends, and shows that I'm not even sure how long she's been wrestling for, but Nanae can still bring it when she's asked to.
Yeah. If people are wondering how good Utami's been this year, despite taking like a month off, I watch a lot of wrestling. I watch too much of it. I watch most of it. And I don't watch GCW. I'm sorry, but I watch most of it. Utami is my 7th wrestler of the year. How did we get here? I don't know. She's had 2 great main events at Marigold. I can tell you that. She had a great match with Mike. I can tell you that. Otherwise, no idea how we're here, but she's here. And that plays to how great she is in the big match, how great she is in the big situation. I think it's all, I made the joke earlier, but she is the best of the best in this company. When I said, when it was announced that she was the one leaving to join, to go to Marigold, I said, that is the biggest get you could get. And I firmly believe that, and she has done nothing but prove that. And if you needed any reason to prove why, it doesn't need to be said much more. Rossi Ogawa gets on the microphone after, Nanae and Utami have this great moment. They slap each other. They call off. Utami's pumped up, and Rossi says, I got you an opponent for Summer Destiny. And you turn to the screen. I am getting so excited talking about this again. I did 20 minutes on Tuesday right after where I was just beyond excited. I'm getting all the more excited just looking at this graphic all over again. When I tell everyone that I have watched the damn end of this match like 100 times, I'm not kidding. Mostly because of Utami's reaction, which we'll get to, because that is the best part of everything. But yes, one Io Sky, better known in Japan as Io Shirai, popped on the screen and it was made official at Summer Destiny 2024 Ryogoku Sumo Hall. It'll be Utami Hayashishita versus Io Sky. Utami's dream match comes true. Hell, our dream match comes true. Everyone's dream match comes true. I have watched Joshi. I've watched Stardom at its most popular these past few years. I have never seen so many people talk about a Joshi match like this one. Obviously, yes, it involves WWE's Io Sky, the same woman that defended the WWE Women's Championship this year at WrestleMania. But still, Marigold has Io Sky, Io Shirai on their show facing their ace. Before I let Trent go, because I know Trent has a lot to say, I cannot stress this enough. This is as good as it gets. No company in the world, I think, from my personal taste, can run a better top 2 matches than Julia versus Sari and Utami Hayashishita versus Io Shirai. Trent, let me know what your reaction was when that screen popped up. Were you similar to Utami?
I genuinely was in shock. Like, this is one of those matches that when Utami came into Stardom way back when, this was like basically her dream. You know, you could see in her face when the everything sort of run through. Like, she was in utter shock, and everyone who kind of said, "Oh, Utami, she's not good at the character work. She doesn't sell things. She's so stoic," and like, that has been a complaint in the past. Like, yeah, she's Queen's Quest syndrome at times. Watch this post match stuff right here and tell me she doesn't know how to sell this stuff. Like, this was beautiful. Like, she does this to perfection. Whether she knew about this or not, like,
there's some
would
genuine
assume
shock
she,
there. That's general.
it's
Maybe
got
it's
to be a case of,
realization,
like,
even.
yeah, to me, it's got to be a case of, like, Rossi was probably saying, "Look, we're getting pretty close to this stuff. I've been talking. Yeah, should be happening. Yeah, we've talked. Yeah, it's going to be happening, kind of thing." But you're there, and then pops up on screen. But even if you've been with negotiations from day one, you've been like on a video call with her, going, "Okay, yeah, we'll film the video. It's pronounced Hashishista. Get it right. Put me over, sister," kind of thing. Remember, I had the really short hair when you first saw me. Like, to actually go through it and stuff in person, like, it's such a beautiful moment for her. All this time, like, you couldn't not feel it. And like, we were both watching a year ago when they announced Mercedes Moné versus Maya Watani, and that felt like the biggest Joshi kind of match that we could get.
Yeah.
And here we are, like, a year later, and this feels so much bigger. And I didn't think, like, you could get a bigger, grander match.
Sure.
Yet here we are. And like, that speaks to a couple of things, but more than anything, it just speaks to how great the Joshi scene is right now, that we can get these kind of matches that just keep usurping everything. And the reasons why you can get into all the nitty-gritty and stuff, but right now it's just exciting to sort of have this kind of situation popping up, and like dream matches that you didn't think were going to be possible. Like, 2 years ago, it kind of felt like the only way this was going to happen is Vince McMahon dropping the ball incredibly. We kind of got blue balled with this guy's going to come back to Japan because of things going wrong, and then we're getting it this way. And I'm just so excited that we can actually finally get this match in Ryogoku Hall, of all places. Like, the perfect venue, really. Short of it happening in, say, Korakuen Hall, because it's a special venue, but like, the right amount of people can actually cram this venue and make it special.
It's not often that you are getting a legitimate legend. Like, that is what Io Shirai is. For anyone that's wondering, she is a legitimate legend. Go listen to Stardom Road. We talked about Io Shirai versus Mayu Iwatani in detail. Talking about, what was supposed to be the end of Io's run in Stardom. When this recording comes out, it will be 3 days before Io Shirai's last match in Japan that day 6 years ago. Her last match in Japan was June 18th, 2018. 6 years later, she's not only coming back, as a member of WWE, as a former top world champion in that company. She's coming back at Ryogoku Sumo Hall, like you said, to face who I think a lot of people to believe one of, if not the best wrestlers since Io left, right? Like,
Mm,
it's a small list. Utami's on it.
mm, mm,
It's as great as it gets. I think the comparison you make to Mayu versus Mercedes is perfect because Mayu versus Mercedes became a reality before that because Mercedes walked in, right? She was like, all right, I'm going to do this Japan thing. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, you could face the best of the best. You have the IWGP title. And even so, once she left WWE, Japan at least felt possible. Io Shirai did not feel possible anymore, right? We got to a point long ago, 6 years ago, where it's like, we'll see. Like if she doesn't succeed, which no one believed because she's Io Shirai, if she doesn't succeed, we'll see her back and she'll be a bigger star, right? We
mm.
saw with Sari. I love Sari. Sari's the best in the world right now, right?
It's not Ricari.
Right. Saw with Kyrie. She came back. She did the run, but Io succeeded. Io succeeded at the highest level this year. She was in the semi-main event of night 2 of the Royal Rumble. She might have been in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if she was at the Royal Rumble, but at WrestleMania, the same show where all these Joshi wrestlers were to see her wrestle,
Mm,
and now she's back facing Utami. I saw so many people who don't like WWE like, I don't like WWE, but this is the one. It's just like Io's different. Io breaks everything.
mm.
The reason I watch Joshi is because of Io. The reason a lot of people watch Joshi is because of Io. It's
I
just
mean, you got into Joshi into 2020 because of EO.
yeah.
A big part of why I got into Joshi in 2017 is because of EO.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, 4 years apart. Well, 3-4 years apart. Io Shirai is still that reason.
And the reason Utami got into Joshi as well.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, I had the chance to interview Utami about leaving, obviously, from Marigold, and she said, I've always wanted to fight against Io Sky. It's a dream that's been hard to fulfill because she went to WWE when I debuted, but I like to make it happen someday. I followed up by asking her about chasing that dream. She said, just thinking about if that time ever comes makes me smile. Oh, we saw it, Tommy. We saw it in real time. Io Sky is someone I've been chasing for a long time, someone I've set my sights on. I can't help but look forward to it. I want to tell her in the match, there's someone who's been chasing you, and her name is Utami Hayashishita. But I'm afraid I'll freeze up with nervousness. Well, you better not, because it's happening.
I don't think she will. I think Utami from a couple of years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But we've seen her in big match situations, and I
Mhm.
mean, I think the cage match last year was the perfect realization that this is an Utami who's matured and grown into a position where she steps up in the biggest match situations and delivers. And obviously, this is a match unlike anything she would have the biggest matches she's ever had. It will not compare to this. But I don't think she has to worry about freezing up
Yeah.
by any stretch of the
I know,
imagination.
I know everyone wants her to return as Io Shirai, and you have no chance in hell at that happening because her current gimmick is Io Sky.
Yeah.
The one thing about her current character that I love is her theme song. That's gonna
Oh, yes.
absolutely hit like crazy in Sumo
Yeah.
Hall. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. But I can't wait. Titled Queen of Queen. Queen's Quest leaders face off potentially weeks after maybe Queen's Quest is no more. But we'll get to that later. Let's not dampen the mood. Let's just enjoy, It's great to see what's going on here. Again, this is as good as it gets. I've done almost like 35 minutes of audio just on this one match, and it hasn't
And
even
it will
happened
not
yet.
be the only 35 minutes of audio you do on this match.
I will do so much audio on this match. Listen, I got into an Io Shirai kick recently, anyways.
Mm. Yeah. We did Stardom Road, like,
Mhm.
we did the e
Yeah,
episode on Io Shirai and Mayu Iwatani. I'm working on a massive Oedo Tai versus Queen's Quest complete history of the rivalry,
yeah.
which has a lot of Io Shirai in it.
Mhm.
I've been just watching a lot of Io naturally because she's been popping up in a lot of stuff I've been covering.
Yeah.
So even before this came up, like, I've just been doing a lot of Io Shirai. I have right here one of her masks. Like every time I record, I have her mask staring me in the face. So I've been on a massive Io Shirai kick lately. This could not be coming at a better time. Like my Shirai like hype levels
Yeah.
are at an all-time high. My Utami hype levels are an all-time high. Someone joked like, so Trent's looking up like flight tickets to go to Japan for this match. I'm not because I'm still financially recovering from my trip a couple of months ago. I did look up the prices though, just as a joke, and I was like, "Oh," but I'm not going.
Yeah.
But gee, it is tempting because like this would be an incredible match to be there for.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
And then you get Sari versus Julia, like right after or right before. Like
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
first pay-per-view these guys are gonna put on.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it was announced on the show that it will be a Wrestle Universe pay-per-view. You do have
Mhm.
to pay a little bit extra to see it. I think they've made your money's worth. I think they've done it. I don't think you
And it's
can ask for
cheaper if you've
more.
got a Wrestle Universe subscription, which is
Yes.
a yeah,
Which
it's a
everyone should have by now, personally. I think so.
yeah, yeah.
Just, there's so much content. It's just too much worth it. But this, obviously, phenomenal. Tanya Shista versus Io Sky, July 13th, Ryogoku Sumo Hall. Still doesn't feel real, but I guess we can move on now. I guess. Pretty cool graphic though. Anyways, this coming weekend, we do
Just leave the
have
graphic up.
more for Marigold. Marigold's very busy. Like I said,
Mm.
very busy. They do not slow down. So this Saturday, they're in Kyoto at KBS Hall. First KBS Hall show, something to look forward to there. The
Can't
show
wait
is
for
as
photos.
followed, including 2 tournament matches for the Superfly Championship. So the show is as followed. You'll get Victoria Yuzuki and Kamoma Minami teaming up to face Bozilla. Tough day at the office for them. You said Victoria Yuzuki was feeling it after the Sari match. Oh, tough week for her. She's gonna be like, all right, Kamoma, you got this. I'm gonna stay out here.
She might just sit on the apron.
You have Miku Aono, sorry, and Mai Sakurai versus Sari and Nagisa Nozaki. We always love seeing Sari on the house shows. She actually
Mhm.
announced her full month. She's going to be on a few house shows, so nice to see. As always, our first trios house show match specifically. Be Utami Hayashishita, Mirai, and Koki Amare versus Nai Takahashi, Nao Ishikawa, and Shika Goto. I am intrigued by that match. There's a lot of
Mm.
moving parts there that very much interest me. They love putting Koki with Utami. That is the one thing that I think is a lock moving forward. Superfly Championship first round, presumably the first of only round besides the final match. I don't think there's going to be more. It'll be Misa
I don't think they
Matsui.
have enough people to really make this a long tournament at this stage.
Specifically this title, yes. Misa Matsui versus Mila Grace, and then your presumed main event. I have no idea if this will end up being main event, but it was tweeted last, so that makes it the main event in my brain until further notice. It'll be Natsumi Shozuki versus Zeta Steel. Quick predictions. We're getting Natsumi Shozuki versus Misa Matsui at Summer Destiny 2024 for the Superfly,
Let's all
which
hope
is a
so.
great match. A great match.
Yes.
Another
Yes.
great match for that show. Lots of great matches. No complaints here.
Mm.
And then on Sunday is loaded, folks.
Mm.
The opening match will be Chiaki and Misa Matsui versus Zeta Steel and Mila Grace. Then you'll have Utami Hayashishita team up with the Twin Towers duo of Koki Amare and Chika Goto. Like I said, has to happen. I'm gonna watch those 3 come out and be like, all right, just make them a faction now. It's fine. Just do it. They'll go against Natsumi Shizuki, Victoria Yuzuki, and Kamomo Manami. That sounds like a fun, interesting match. Passion Injections back again. It'll be Nanai Takahashi versus Nao Ishikawa. The singles match that was set up at Cork, and it'll be Maya Sakurai going one-on-one with Sari. By the way, the show is in Nagoya. And then the United National Championship round one. If you're looking on the screen, you see what they are. Nagisa Nozaki, who has not lost in Marigold, will face, good luck to her, Bozilla. And then, match of the weekend, folks. Mirai goes one-on-one with Miku. I don't know. When they originally did this, you would have thought this is the finals. Nope, it's first round match. It's a first round match. Should be amazing.
Oh yeah, this match I think is going to set basically the standard for what will probably be a rivalry for a couple of years at least in Marigold. I think these two are going to be facing off a lot in the coming years.
If you told me the first 3 United National Champions were in this tournament, I would not be shocked.
Yeah.
My prediction, I do think Mirai gets the win. I think Miku takes her first loss or 1st pinfall loss. I do hope Miku gets something big at Summer Destiny if she's not in the title match. I just think she's earned it, and she just again feels like star. Also, I must say, I need to make an announcement. We do have a new song that gets my favorite meme. That is Miku Ano's theme. I tweeted it the other day, and I only tweeted that for Twilight Dream. Now it's for I Can See the Stars or whatever the hell that song is that Miku has. It's incredible. It's incredible. I've literally replayed it 100 times. Release the album or whatever it is. I need all the Marigold songs, actually. But this one, it's perfect. And yeah, Bozilla's beating Nagisa Nozaki. I'm not gonna.
Well, she's not being weighed down by additional white women, so.
Yeah, Bozilla versus Mirai feels too perfect.
Yeah.
Just feels right though. Miku, Miku's gonna be the big challenger for Bozilla if Bozilla wins this title. If Mirai wins this title, Miku's gonna be the big challenger. Either way, it's like these 3 feel like the first 3 champions I'd pick, truthfully.
Whoever loses between Mirai and Aono will get something big at the pay-per-view. You could see either Aono or Mirai advancing.
For sure.
I can't see Bozilla losing here because the only way she loses is probably count out or disqualification.
Yeah.
Can't really see that happening. But like whoever she faces at the pay-per-view will be fun.
It's hard for me to side with not like Miku only because this is Mirai made the jump. Mirai's obviously everybody believes in. Mirai's she deserves this big spot. It's been a tough year. She did she went through a lot of ups and downs. Give her the big spot. Her and Bozilla would be great. Miku and Bozilla would be great. I'm in there for either one, and I'm happy that we're deciding that. The only problem with this is that they don't air these shows live outside of Tokyo. So I'm going to have to wait 4 days to watch this. It's going to be painful. It's going to be worth it when it comes out. Something to look forward to. It's going to be painful, but I'm looking forward to that. Should be a very good show. I don't think anyone's beating Bozilla anyways. Just Bozilla feels like there's so much momentum with Bozilla. Who is getting their name chanted again the other day? Bozilla. But it'll be fun to watch either Mirai or Miku try to tackle her in that big match. I think there could be something special. It's funny that I've already reached the point with Bozilla. Like, it's going to be a great match.
Yeah. She's basically the Goldberg for Marigold. She's not getting beaten in a one-on-one match for a long time. And I want her to have the Goldberg entrance in Marigold. So I want like the sparklers. I want the smoke.
Do you want the backstage part where she slams the door?
Yeah. I actually want her to have like fake. I don't want to actually have her concuss herself every time she's coming in. I want like Japanese security guards like escorting her to the ring each time.
That'd be
incredible.
Them
getting progressively shorter. So like by the time we're here next year, I want them to be like in preschool, just dressed up in cop uniforms, just to really emphasize the size. Maybe walking through like a miniature Tokyo as well to really emphasize it all. Yeah.
Yeah, Bozilla's undeniable at this point.
Yes.
Which is great. Incredible find for Marigold. Part of the buzz, really. There's so much buzz. She's a big part of it.